everyone. Today I'm putting out a bit of an updated guide for a character I've already covered, my first guide actually, the Black Knight. I'm doing this because the most recent patch nerfed AP per kill mechanics in the game, so I know a lot of people are wondering if champions are any good anymore now that they can't just infinitely gain AP and steamroll the entire team in one turn. I assure you, they most definitely are still very, very strong, and I'm going to show that to you with Black Knight post-patch. So because of that, I'm not going to be going super into detail like I usually do. If you want to get a bit more specifics on certain things, a little more detail, I'll have my original guide linked. A lot of the things are the same here. I just swapped around a couple talents and there's one piece of gear that's different. The essences are all the same: annihilation, stability, extermination, crushing, extra damage, some CC protection, Juggernaut Seal for movement AP, immunity to stun, Sign of Epona, extra AP, movement AP on kill, which is super good, especially post-patch, and then just extra damage for kills. I'm keeping the Ring of Frenzy, even though the AP per kill isn't quite as good anymore. It's way not as good anymore, but it does buff area attacks, and it does give them extra AP on that first turn, which does actually serve some function. The main item that's different is because this time around on this save file, I didn't get the Horn of the Giant Slayer, I got Horn of the Pale Stag. This one is actually still very, very good. Both of them very good. This one basically, if it leaves something below 15%, it dies. This is extra good for securing some of those early kills before the rage stacks get going. Extra damage for power attack, extra damage against unharmed units. You're going to be sweeping a lot, so this is a lot of targets, and even more damage for kills, so even more stacking with that rage. Going into talents, swapped a couple things around. We have Juggernaut this time around. The first time I should have had it. I just wasn't being super meticulous. Without the AP per kill, all the more damage you can get will definitely be contributing. So we're taking Juggernaut to get extra damage out of that movement we do end up having to do. And the rest of it is more or less the same, I'm pretty sure. These are all the talents. The main difference in playstyle now is you really need to have damage focus and melee expertise. These help a lot. This is giving you extra damage from passing that first turn and getting extra AP and extra armor to help carry you into that second turn without taking too much damage. Melee expertise mostly for killing spree, but as the enemies do rush in, sometimes you'll find him being outnumbered, so then these will kick in and just help you jumpstart that first turn, which needs a little more help now than before. And sorry if I'm kind of just blowing through this. I don't want this video to be super long, especially since I'm kind of treading over a lot of ground I've kind of covered already. So, these are the skills. Let's get to the gameplay. Alright, back in Three Sisters, just like the first time around, direct one-to-one comparison. Yeah, you kind of know how this works. We're going to pass our first turn after putting down some CCs, and then just let the Black Knight speak for himself. Alright, cool. Enemies up and close immediately. Love to see it. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of softening on them. Double kill off the bat. Move up. Double kill. Leap attack. Very efficient kill on that one. Double kill. And kill. Swept, just like before. It was definitely not quite as easy. You could tell we did have a much more limited pool of AP we were working with, so we had to be much more careful on what moves we were using and when. Had to do a little bit of softening from our other teammates. And you saw here just the importance of that leap attack to get that axe throw over here. With a standard champion, would have had to run over, hit him. That would have been like twice the AP cost. Wouldn't have had enough to get over here and kill the two archers. So that's what I mean when I say that leap attack is just an absolutely amazing move, and why the Black Knight is just the best. Alright, the second fight, the picked ambush. Pretty sure I used this exact fight in my first video for Black Knight as well. We're just going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to lay down some moves. Soften them up a little bit for our second turn. We're actually going to freeze this guy, so that way he doesn't go invincible. He likes to do that. And then next, we're actually going to pull our Mordred back a little bit, because we want the Black Knight to take a couple hits. With his melee expertise talent, if he takes at least 2 hits, he gets a couple bonuses, such as a little bit of AP and a little bit of extra damage. So, by pulling him back, leaving him front and center should incentivize a couple hits towards him and get him the bonus we need. With the shock on them, they should only get 1 hit each, leaving him pretty healthy. This is some of the more tactical play you're going to have to do to replicate those crazy results like before, and I actually really like that. This setup turn has a bit more tactics to it. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Alright, this guy was a coward and decided not to hit us, but thankfully the archer shot us, so we have that going for us. Alright. We're going to pull her back, because we're going to leap attack these guys here in a second. Alright, pieces in place. Very nice. Move up to here. Free swing on him. I'll take the hit. Really want to take advantage of that killing spree. One of the best abilities in the entire game. Alright. So we have this target all the way over there. Thankfully, we have leap attack. I think we may be able to reach him. Perfect. And there you go. Leap attack once again, showing why it makes a Black Knight the best champion. So there you have it. Seen it with your own eyes. Champions still very strong. Black Knight in particular still extremely strong. Now, a part of why I wanted to redo my Black Knight build guide was most definitely to show off a much more optimized version of the build. Previously, there was a number of skills that were just bad picks, but due to the state of AP per kill bonuses off of gear, it really didn't matter. Now with the newest patch, having an optimized build is definitely more important if you want to pull off powerful results like this and still enable those sweeps like the champions could much more easily do pre-nerf. The other reason was to make a video that was sort of a general address to any worries that I know lots of players probably have about champions being bad now. Before I get into that though, I want to finish talking about the Black Knight specifically and why he is still so insanely strong. I mentioned it in the fights, but leap attack really is the hero here. In both of those fights, there were instances where leap attack either allowed us to either secure a kill that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to, or it saved us enough AP to continue mowing down enemies. Champions have Earthshaker for a lot of these situations, but as you noticed, in both those instances, Earthshaker was on cooldown because I used it earlier in that same round. So just having this extra mobility and AoE on that mobility is just crazy. It's crazy how just one ability makes such an insane difference and elevates the Black Knight into being, in my opinion at least, the best champion hero in the entire game. To wrap up this video, I just wanted to talk a bit about what I think the current state of champions are, and straight up, They are not as strong as they were before. Obviously, that unlimited AP per kill let you pretty much trivialize any encounter. That being said, they are still extremely strong. If you're smart with how you play them, you can still replicate or get really close to replicating the crazy stuff you were doing pre-patch. Sometimes it may take 2 rounds instead of 1, but that's not really a big deal. If you're positioning your character smartly, if you're looking for those multi-kills, getting those free kills off a killing spree, you can definitely still perform some crazy sweeps like this. It just really comes down to really taking advantage of those damage buffs. Things like damage focus, melee expertise, the upgrades to get a little bit of that extra AP at the start of your turns, a little bit of that extra damage for your setup turns. And you'll need the teammates to soften up a little bit, but I mean, that's completely fine. That's why you have a team, right? If he could just walk in and do it all by itself, like, he kind of could pre-patch, I guess, with much less effort. That's fun, trust me, I get it. But for me personally, and lots of players I've spoken to, it's really boring. I do like this nerf. Champions can still pull off crazy sweeps or chunking a huge amount of the enemy team in a single turn, but it does require a lot more careful play, some good positioning, and thinking smart about which attacks you're going to use and what kind of movement do you want to put in between each of these. A little more gear dependent, but I don't think that's bad either. I have tested champions, and Black Knight in particular, without the Essence of Extermination, so don't worry that you need this essence in order to be doing stuff like this. It is possible if you get the right map and get the right enemy setups, you can definitely do this. They're clearly not as strong as they were pre-patch, where you'd be ending fights with like 30 AP, but as you can see, you don't need that to still be doing crazy stuff. Champion in particular is still the highest damage dealing hero in the game. You saw those numbers he was pulling up, just hundreds, just crazy. And still hitting damage multipliers of, like 800% to 1000% or even more. I meant to show those off in the middle of the battle so you could see those percentages yourself. Apologize for not mousing over that for you real quick, but I guess you'll just have to take my word. During those fights, he was hitting damage percent multipliers. Instead of this reading like 100%, it was reading like 1,000. And power attack was reading like 1,300, I believe. I've done this a number of times, so I kind of have the numbers a bit memorized. Don't worry about your champions. Still a lot of fun. Still extremely strong. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.